Welcome to Hitex and to our webinar series about SafeTpal. Today's webinar is SafeThal, Qualified Drivers for Maximum Safety. My name is Wolfgang Fuller. I work in marketing at Hitex and I will accompany you today through the webinar. Let me shortly introduce Hitex before this webinar starts. Hitex was established in 1976 as an embedded development company and has achieved rapid growth by developing and providing microcontroller development tools. Today, Hitex as a proven expert is also in great demand as a service provider for training and consulting, test services, development and production services. Hitex supports all phases of your project from the idea to the finished system. In today's webinar, we will provide you with an in-depth overview of the peripheral drivers designed for AURIX ASIL-D and SIL-3 applications. As part of our safety and security suite, SafeTpal drivers are fully API compatible with Infineon's demo drivers. The webinar will be presented by Michael Weiß. Michael studied electrical engineering and physics at the University of Karlsruhe. From 1986 onwards, he worked in various areas as a developer, project manager, and managing director. Since 2015, he has been Senior Account Manager, Embedded Solutions at Hitex in Karlsruhe. There he looks after major customers with a focus on functional safety and safety-related consulting, as well as software and hardware engineering projects. The second speaker today is Christoph Bach. Christoph studied computer science at the KIT in Karlsruhe and graduated with honors. He joined Hitex in 2019, initially working on the next generation smart card debugger. He then worked on several SafeTlip and SafeTpack integrations and complex drivers for battery management systems. Since 2024, he has been primarily involved with Hitex SafeTpack in terms of coverage and test automation. This year, he also took on the task of playing a key role in the development of SafeTpal as a software architect. During the webinar, you will have the opportunity to ask your questions via the webinar panel, and please take part in our small webinar survey at the end of the webinar. So I'll hand over to Michael and Christoph.
Yes, thank you, Wolfgang, for the kind introduction.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, to do a short wrap up, we did a lot of webinars for SafeTpal. SafeTpal is our safety and security ease of use suite. It's a complete suite for safe and secure application with AURIX TC3 microcontrollers. And to have a look in the future, SafeTpal will be ready for the upcoming Infineon RISC-V automotive controllers as well. SafeTpal is a complete suite for safety and security. It's ease of use. As a SafeTpal is a complete ease of use solution for the AURIX TC3xx microcontroller family for high performance application which use non-AUTOSAR or AUTOSAR as a runtime environment. On the other hand, it was important for us to support all the functional safety standards and the cybersecurity standards as well. So SafeTpal follows the standard ISO 26262 up to ASIL-D and IEC 61508 up to SIL-3, and the security standards ISO 21434, CERT-C, MISRA-C. So SafeTpal is a complete package consisting of software reference design, services and trainings. We say SafeTpal is a companion for you in the V model. So along the V model, we have a lot of services for your product development. So starting with design in services with different trainings with software like the well-known SafeTpack, the SafeThal, the Safety HSP, the safety development, testing, and last but not least, production. Today we are focusing on SafeThal, our ASIL-D, SIL-3 drivers for AURIX. Have a look what's available today from Infineon. Infineon provides the Infineon low-level drivers, well known under the name ILLD. It's a very budget-friendly solution because they are free of charge. But they are intended for testing the AURIX chip itself, for testing your hardware, for instance, and the use cases are prototyping, demonstrators, and examples, and uncritical applications. But they are not intended for productive use, they are not qualified for ISO 26262, and they are not qualified for IEC 61508. On the other hand, Infineon provides the microcontroller abstraction layer, well known under the name MCAL. These drivers you can license from Infineon or from Hitex, for instance, for a project or for a number of controllers. They are intended for automotive use with AUTOSAR, according to the AUTOSAR standard, with the Microsoft OS from Vector or from other vendors, for cars, for trucks, and all mobile solution on the street. Yes, they are intended for productive use. They are qualified up to ASIL-D and up to SIL-3, and are used by large OEMs and Tier 1s worldwide. On the other hand, we had a lot of talks with our customers, and we learned that there's a need for high efficient drivers which are compatible with the ILDs, which are certified till SIL-3 and ASIL-D, and which follow the cybersecurity standards. We have in our first package drivers for infrastructures, for input-output and communication, and they are delivered in source code with all documentation. So that's the first deeper view in SafeTpal, the schematic view. On the bottom line, you have the AURIX with the peripherals and with the watchdog driver, the TLF35585, for instance, and on the other hand, with your application layer. And here we are talking about SafeTpal, Safety HSP, and the well-known Safety Pack. Today, we are focusing on SafeTpal, the drivers itself. SafeTpal is a real alternative to Infineon MCAL for efficient application for automotive and industry, which don't use AUTOSAR. It closes the gap between the ILDs, the demo drivers, and the MCAL, the AUTOSAR drivers. They are optimized performance drivers for dynamic control algorithms, as I told you, for ASIL-D and SIL-3, and it's a really budget-friendly alternative to MCAL. And last but not least, with these drivers, which are qualified, they support the MassWorks HSP, the hardware support package for AURIX as well. Now have a deeper look into the component infrastructure of the drivers. We always have the hardware, so the peripherals. We have the application software or the middleware, and we have here include the SafeTpal. And we have two types of drivers. One are the uni-interface components. Uni-interface components are simple components where the type of functionality is provided with a single interface. Here as shown with GPIO or with EV-ADC. On the other hand, we have multi-interface components, like for instance SPI with SPI stream, with SPI synchronous and SPI asynchronous, and supporting the DMR, or the ASC-Link driver, ATX-UART for ATX-UART POL, or asynchronous modus with the DMA as well. Now we are coming to component implementation, and I would like to hand over to Chris to give you a little bit an insight how we implement the drivers.
So we have decided to implement some of the interfaces in inline implementations to have better performance. And of course, we also have the standard way of implementing in the C files and not in the header files, the modules. So examples for inline implementations are the APIs to get the state of GPIO pins or set the GPIO pin, or find out on which core the current code is running with the CPU get index functions. So we have some APIs with a higher performance intended in this inline implementations.
So what I've understood, that's a really good solution for high performance. On the other hand, we provide so-called ILD wrapper. Why do we need these ILD wrappers? we support the Maswerk HSP, the hardware support package for AURIX. It's a compatibility layer for Maswerk's Simulink. The use case is model-driven development, and it's the mapping between the ASIL-D interface to the SafeTpal interface. More complex adaptations are implemented through proxy patterns in adapters and wrappers. On the right side, you see some code snippet out of the definition part. SafeTpal drivers for infrastructure to support clock, common DMA and interrupts. So the HDS sys component features are for CPU, get a core index, start other cores, microsecond sleep, hardware timer, periodic interrupts, one-shot interrupts, hardware time since boot, and init protected register access, interrupt router, and peripheral register memory map, which are hardware accessed by index. And here's a specialty in the SafeTpal, and I will hand over to Chris because it's his baby, the event loop.
Yeah, so with the event loop, you will get software timers that are enabling complex applications without an operating system. So you have also the option with SafeTpal to don't use an AUTOSAR or PXROS, for example. You can also do a bare metal system, and a more complex bare metal system will need software timers. This will be enabled by this event loop. Moreover, you can send signals between cores with the event loop and are able to utilize the other cores in a good way. And what you can also do is receive signals from interrupt context inside the application.
So as you see, the SafeTpal drivers are for bare metal applications as well. On the other hand, we have the performance drivers for dynamic control algorithms, like port, the different ADCs like EV ADC, convert control, EDS ADC, PWM, and encoder. These are the drivers to give you the possibility to real drive optimized for high performance motor control applications, for instance, battery management or inverters, power supply or whatever. So all the applications who need very fast and high efficient PWM control and encoding algorithms. On the other hand, what would be a package without communication to the outer world? We have the UART driver with initialization interfaces, polling with 60 byte buffer, asynchronous up to 20 KB buffer, and to support a lot of sensors which are using the SPI interface. We have an SPI driver as well with stream, asynchronous, and synchronous modes. On the other hand, SafeTpal supports the ready model-based development with MATLAB HSP. So here's an overview of model-based development. So I will not go very deep in this issue because here we had a webinar some weeks ago about SafeTHSP. And if you are interested, look at our download area at hitex.com. You will get all the webinars we already had with for SafeTpal, and to inform you what SafeTpal is in deep with the different trainings and services. Conclusion and summary. With SafeTpal suite, already safety and security standards are supported. With our software, we give you the chance to time to market, use our resources best as possible, benefit from our experience, and save time and money with SafeTpal package. It's a real budget-friendly alternative to today's offerings. Here I use the opportunity to give you an overview over the trainings we already had. so like safety development, safety guidance, MasterWorks HSP, or safety schematics. Today we are in the Safety Hall training. So the next upcoming training is the Safety HSP, the Safety Hill and Safety Remote Hill. You can talk to Hitex live at the ESA Congress in Sindelfingen. And we closed this webinar series in December with a total overview over Safety Hall and some applications with SafeTpal. So I'm looking forward if you join our upcoming webinars, have a look at our website and register for the next webinar. I think we have a lot of very interesting information for you. On the other hand, please contact us. If you want to have an evaluation license for the Safety Hall drivers, please contact me and I will provide you these drivers. Or go to our website where we have a special area with all the information for SafeTpal. So it's time to thank you for your participation of this webinar, and I'm looking forward if you contact us for more information, for discussion your projects and your needs. Please stay in contact with Hitex, and I hand over to Wolfgang.
Yes, thank you, Michael and Christoph. Some questions have come in, and I've picked out two that might be of interest to everyone. Question one, we already use SafeTpack. Can the drivers also be integrated with SafeTpack?
Yes, of course, because the same developers who have integrated the SafeTpack are in the SafeTpal development as well. So SafeTpack is one of the software package in our SafeTpal safety and security suite. So you can be sure that if you use SafeTpack and SafeTpal, it will work very smoothly together.
Okay, thank you. The second question, what hardware do you recommend for Safety Hall?
So Safety Hall supports all the AURIX TC3xx devices, but as we have shown in our last webinar, the safety schematic, we provide complete solution for you consisting out of an AURIX TC3x with the PMIC TLF3585, and this schematic is designed for ASIL-D and SIL-3 as well. So have a look at our homepage. So this package will now, this hardware package will now be available for your development purposes. You can use this these schematics in your own project or start with the first trials on with SafeTpal. On the other hand, have a look at our web shop. There we will find a lot of TC3x evaluation kit and application kits from Infineon, where you can test the software as well.
Okay, thank you again, Michael. Thank you, Michael and Christoph, for being here today. Both will answer all the questions, the other questions by email after the webinar. Dear participants, thank you very much for joining us today. You will receive a follow-up email with links to the presentation slides and the video recording. Please check our upcoming trainings and seminars on hitex.com or .de. Goodbye until next time.